Welcome back into the 2022 Top Buffs Countdown. Number 19 is safety Trevor Woods. And William, he's a big play guy, and I think that's why he worked his way into the top 20, even though he hasn't played a ton of football for the Buffs.
Yeah, I think given his size and given his sort of penchant for big plays, and some guys in the secondary are just that guy. A lot of guys can be back there, break up passes, whatever, but some guys make the plays. And I'm going to kind of stick my neck out a little bit and say he reminds me a little bit of Tedrick Thompson, both in terms of his size and his range and kind of his ability to make plays like that. And at his size, I'd say roughly 6'1", 200, and his ability to move. And he also comes out of a big time program in Texas where he's going to be a guy at safety who's got a lot more playing time already at a high level, just because of that competition and coaching he got in high school. So I think he's going to be a guy who's ready a lot sooner. And I think we may have him too low on this list, frankly.
Really? Okay.
I don't remember exactly how I ranked him, but I'm looking at 19, and he's a guy to me who could blow up and really be a big time star on this team right off the bat. And Lord knows we need it at safety. So I'm pretty excited about him.
Yeah. CU fans will obviously remember his blocked punt, the scoop and score against Arizona, a beautiful pass breakup against Oregon State. And you mentioned high school. It's something that I try not to read too much into high school stats, but I mean, you watch his highlight film and it's pick six. He had 9 sacks, 7 interceptions, 10 forced fumbles at the high school level. So it just seems like some guys kind of have that knack for being in the right place at the right time. You mentioned Tedrick Thompson. I think that's a good comparison. What's interesting here is, had Mark Perry not transferred to TCU, Trevor Woods is probably still looked at as a backup. Mark Perry was kind of a polarizing player with the fan base. And again, Trevor Woods has got to prove this season. Is it too premature to say that he could potentially be a better player than anything we saw out of Mark Perry at CU this year?
It could be, and I think that I'm not 100% sure that the CU staff ever decided how they exactly want to use Mark Perry, because we saw him in a lot of different roles back there, and he never quite lived up to the sum of his athletic gifts, his speed and his size and what have you. And so I guess I would look at Matt. Here's the kind of terminology people use is like Mark Perry is a superb athlete. But Trevor Woods is a superb football player, if you see the difference.
Yeah, I think so. Safeties coach Brett Maxey said that Woods has really improved his eye discipline. That's been the area of his game that's improved quite a bit. He's improved his man-to-man cover skills. I think if you have a question mark with him, it will be that just consistency in terms of pass coverage. But Maxey said he's got the best hands of any safety he's ever coached. So that's pretty high praise for a guy that's been around for a long time. Beyond that, though, William, you've got Trevor Woods. You're excited about him. You've got Isaiah Lewis, who's played a lot of football at CU, is a veteran presence back there. But, gosh, they better hope one of those incoming guys, whether it's JUCO transferred Jeremy Mack or Dylan Dixon, a 2022 signee, is ready to provide some depth, because I know they've got a talented walk-on in Anthony Lyle. You feel okay with him playing a little bit, but just overall, how concerned are you with the depth on the back end? I think that's maybe top of the list for me going into preseason when you look at this defense.
Yeah, I think everywhere else along the defense, I think we could be quietly optimistic. I think we'd be optimistic about cornerback, and the front seven is interesting. And I don't want to get too excited, but I think we could have a really good defensive front. As long as nobody gets hurt, we could be very strong at safety, but we don't have a sure thing backing those guys up. Now, I don't know to what extent you can switch any of those guys over and fill a safety spot in an emergency if you need it. But yeah, it's kind of amazing how the safety position is as thin as it is for CU, and we're going to need some of those. I mean, that's why I think I was pretty high on Dylan Dixon, and hopeful that he is a guy who can come in and at least have the same kind of immediate impact that Trevor Woods had last year. And I think that would help answer that question for sure. And then, the other transfers that are coming in, we'll see what they can do. But the other thing I like about Trevor Woods is that, you talk about great hands and everything, but he's also, he's not afraid of contact, and he can be a very physical player as well. So he can also be that kind of a safety too.
And I should mention they did move Tyron Taylor and Jalen Stryker to that safeties room, but those guys were pretty much just at the nickel back spot this spring.
Right.
So number 19 is Trevor Woods on our Top Buffs countdown.